ready? We'll start with questions.
Lulu, your initial thoughts on that match?
Definitely not my best performance, I'd say. But tough conditions as well. The ball, but it is for her as well. So the ball I was kind of also out of place on a lot of times. So I don't think that helped. But I think definitely in a positive note, I can say like my body is good and it held up and nothing is bad at the moment. So that is a positive note. And it was kind of just up and down with my level. Like I'd get like good moments, but then some bad moments came. So it was just very inconsistent throughout the whole match through my part. So it didn't really help for the match.
It looked like you were struggling for rhythm. Is that?
Yeah.
How did you feel out there?
But I mean, she kind of plays that way. You know, she doesn't give you a lot of rhythm. She serves good serves, and then she will hit one or two shots, and then she'll miss some shots. So she's definitely a player that doesn't give rhythm. In that sense, I don't think that was a problem for me usually. I mean, I haven't had a really official match in 6 months, so I think that was probably more of a problem to kind of get, you know, if I would have played someone with rhythm, maybe I would kind of get, you know, the flow. But since she's kind of, her game style is that way where you don't get a lot of rhythm, it's definitely harder to play. But yeah, it's not an ideal way to start, I guess.
Was it difficult as well, the expectation and the talk about you coming to this tournament? Did that add some more pressure?
I think there's always pressure from different areas. I just have to kind of handle it better. And, you know, now I'm going to starting to get more matches consistently, so I'm just going to gradually kind of get my momentum back and my kind of game back, because right now, currently, it's kind of wishy-washy in a way, so yeah, that's what I kind of want to focus.
As you said, it was your first match since August, really injury-free. I mean, did you feel rusty out there, and is it hard to get into a groove after so long? Even, you know, practice matches are not the same as...
Yeah, definitely it's different in an official match versus a practice match. You know, you have you have the audience, you have screens, you have ball kids and all that. So it's definitely a different feeling than practice matches, which I've had, you know, in preseason. But yeah, playing a real match is definitely different. You also have, you know, maybe you're nervous or, you know, all these emotions add up. So it's going, I guess, in one direction since I played my last match. So maybe I was a bit rusty in a way, but it's definitely good to get a full match in without any problems.
You pulled off that incredible drop shot on his second set point, and obviously you came back from 5-1 and almost got back into that set. I mean, there are lots of positives you can take from it as well.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say that, I mean, I at least try to put in a good fight, even though there was definitely moments where I was like, that's questionable. But yeah, I mean, as I said, you know, I've had the whole match without any problems. My body's good. It is my first match in a while, so I have to take that in the back of my mind. And I was, you know, it was kind of a close match up until the break point, and I was coming back. But again, if you put yourself in that much of a distance, it's kind of shooting yourself in the foot. But yeah.
And obviously, I know you'd like to be here longer, but how have you found your time in Auckland this week and the reception that you've had from the public of being back here?
Oh, it was amazing, really amazing. I've always love my time in New Zealand whenever I have the chance to come back. So it's definitely, I wish, as you said, to stay longer, but it is what it is.
What do you,
We'll go over here first.
Was there anything surprising to you about the way you played today? Had you expected that maybe you would be a little bit rusty?
I mean, I knew kind of in the back of my head I would be, because, you know, sick, or how many months I was off. It's a long time. But I was kind of, you know, motivated, trying to play a bit better. But yeah. And I guess, like, also in the first set, I was kind of, my movement wasn't as good, and it kind of gradually became better. But then, you know, it's kind of nervy in some parts of the game, so it didn't really help. That's also something, I guess, you kind of lose that feeling of how you handle matches, you know, with emotional side as well.
Will you be able to do something before your next matches to sort of overcome that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, usually, you know, I do the same routines usually, so it gives you kind of a zen moment, I guess. And I talk to my coach and kind of devise, you know, game plans and all. But yeah, that's kind of what I do.
what are your plans from here, Lulu?
Next tournament, next match before Australian Open, I'll be playing Hobart. So, you know, trying to get more matches in as much as I can before Australian Open.